in the Station Square. I've played there, but like, you know, Club Cafe, Rex, Diesel, Mr. Smalls. I've played them all. I was just at Club Cafe in September, maybe August. One of those two.
So your schedule, though, where can people find it? On your website? Or?
On my website, on my MySpace, my schedule's always up. I will be tomorrow in Valencia at a pumpkin festival.
Oh, cool.
At a family farm, and that's a really cool event, actually.
Is that a public event?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then Wednesday, I will be at CCAC Boys Campus in Monroeville, which is also public. I mean, you don't have to be attending CCAC to come. Anybody can. On next Saturday, the 16th, I will be doing a benefit for Transitional Services, which is a company, an organization rather, that helps mental health, mental retardation people get housing and live on their own. And so they're doing a benefit, and I'm playing there, which is very cool.
Cool. So your website is Cathasaigh. Write that down, everyone.
Yeah.
It looks like it says Cathasaigh.
Right, but it's
Cathasaigh.
Yeah.
So Cathasaigh.com.
And then the MySpace is myspace.com/Cathasaigh and then music. So.
Cathasaigh music.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm still wondering if MySpace is I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air. I listen to all these different podcasts, you know, and it's like Facebook, and MySpace, and there's Reverb Nation,
politics,
Bandcamp.
I don't know.
There's so many things online. It's so hard to keep track of.
I have a Trig account too, which is one that people have like never heard of. They're like, Trig? What's Trig? But it's a really cool site. It's like, you know, MySpace or Facebook. It's a social networking site for musicians and regular people, not musicians. And you know, I love it there. It's really a very personal connect because it's not as big as either the other two majors. Mm-hmm. So I really like that one. But
do you have a strong online presence, or is it more local type of thing, or?
It's hard to gauge, you know. But I would say I have a fairly strong online presence. I mean,
do you spend a lot of time there? You know.
More than I would like.
Yeah, okay. Me too, yeah.
Way more time in front of a computer than I would like.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, I've got fans, you know, all the way over in California, over in the UK, and I've never played in any of those places, so the online presence is doing something for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. I could see how people over in the UK would definitely like your music.
Yeah, I've had several offers to play in outside of Bath, England, Birmingham, England, over in Ireland, a bunch of places have asked me to come over, and Japan. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, well, that's...
Well, it says you have, you play 40 different instruments.
Yes.
I don't even know if I can name 40, unless I had a, like, symphony book in front of me.
Sometimes even I can't name all 40 of them, so don't feel bad. My goal in life is to be able to play every instrument known to man.
Okay.
It's a little ambitious, but I think I'm on my way at 40-some instruments.
How about a zither? That's pretty easy, huh?
A zither, as in an auto harp?
Yeah.
Yes, I have one, and I play it.
I
also have an omnichord, which is sort of a cross between a guitar, a harp, and an electronic auto harp, and I do that too, which is very cool.
A hurdy-gurdy would be cool.
I would love a hurdy-gurdy, and if you can find one, I will learn to play it. I promise. Okay?
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I was watching I watched a video the other day. They're very unique, strange instruments.
They are.
But I guess that's what they used to play. It's like a really big folk. In Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Spanish. It was a Spanish instrument.
You know, and like harpsichord is another one I'd like to get my hands on, but they're not so easy to come by.
Yeah. Well, everything's synthesizers and MIDI now.
Yeah.
You know. But I lean towards acoustic instruments and wood blocks and little tapping things. I would rather find something natural to give me kalimba. You know, I love one of those little fun pianos, and my dad had a I think it's called a dacabello. It's like a wood drum, but it's almost like the it has keys cut into the drum, so you get different tones of the wood. I forget what it's called. It's a cool thing.
Sounds cool.
That's a new one. It's kind of almost like a wooden xylophone.
Oh.
It's like a wooden box.
Wait, like a square, rectangular box?
Just like, yeah, a box.
And you play it with mallets?
You play it with
Yeah.
mallets, and has little, different size.
Right, yeah. No, I have one of those.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's called a dacabello.
I don't actually know the name of it. I just always call it the wood thing.
Yeah,
So,
the wood.
you know,
Yeah.
I should find that out.
So, yeah, you started playing when you were pretty young, and I would say that you're kind of young. I have no idea. I'm like trying to.
23.
Okay, I'm guessing early 20s. So, what? How did you find your way into writing your own music? What influenced you? Are there any artists that you listened to that kind of influenced you to pick up and start songwriting, or what was the?
Well, who doesn't influence? You know, every person you hear influences you either positively or negatively.
Right.
Honestly, but I always knew I wanted to write music. Like, we have all of these little cassette tapes, and I probably should never say this on air. We have all these little cassette tapes of me when I was a kid, singing into a recorder, writing little songs, fish flying and things like that, Jesus loves me, all of that stuff. And so I always knew I wanted to write songs. I just didn't really have a good medium for it until I was 14 and taught myself to play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, hey, wait, there's this whole new world of songwriting where you can actually write the music too, not just words.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was always there, but some artists that have definitely influenced me strongly are Paddy Casey. He's an Irish singer-songwriter who I had the wonderful pleasure to see live. He's an amazing songwriter. Damien Rice, again, he's Irish. Glenn Hansard and Marquetta Irglova from the movie Once. Their collaboration just totally set me on a writing spree when I saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Groban, Dolly Parton, Enya, Cat Stevens.
Like when you were 14, though, you were listening to, there was anybody that's, one person that
I
you,
couldn't say that there was
No,
one
not
person. Just everybody over a period of time has slowly gotten into my consciousness and grabbed hold.
Yeah.
And really encouraged me in my writing.
And I take it your mom, your parents encouraged you in your music.
Well, Dad died before I was born.
Oh, sorry.
So wasn't really around to
Okay.
encouraging.
But
Mom bought every instrument she could come across and just left it in the house.
wow.
She never said, hey, why don't you practice? Hey, why don't you pick that up? She just left it sitting and just was like, yeah, well, whatever, it's there. If you wanna pick it up, it's there. And that's what
Awesome.
happened with guitars. We'd had a guitar in the house since literally before I can remember. And I have memories back to my first year, so that's impressive. So
Wow.
we had this guitar sitting around. And
Okay.
yeah, I have an eidetic memory, so it's, photographic and all that
Yeah.
fun stuff. But at 14, I was like, well, you know what? I want to learn to play this guitar that's been sitting around. And I picked it up, and I came to Mom and I said, Mom, how do you play guitar? And she looked at me like, you can figure it out. And so I was like, but can't you show me? And she was like, I don't know how to play guitar. And so I walked away, and I came back about 20 minutes later and said, Mom, listen. And I was playing Amazing Grace, across the strings.
Oh, really?
Just across the
Just
strings.
picking it out, so you had.
And I was like, Mom, I can play guitar, because,
So you-
that meant I could play guitar. And then,
Gotcha.
by the end of the day, I could pick out 20 songs. The next day, I figured out chords, which was, let me tell you, amazing. Chords were like a whole new world.
So
And-
no one, you're all self-taught. You just
Yeah.
just sat down and played by ear.
Yep. And,
Wow.
40 instruments later, I'm self-taught on all of them.
That's amazing.
It's a gift, and I don't want to take any credit for it, because,
It's amazing that and I was 12. I was given a harmonica, and that was kind of like one of those.
12's when I learned to play my harmonica, too.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things that.
It's like the age.
Yeah, that's a good age for. I was always very bored with learning how to read or write music. I couldn't sit there and just, dots on a page.
Right.
So,
I didn't learn to read music until I was 19. And even now, I'd rather figure it out on my own, because reading music's too much work. I'm like, I can figure it out faster than I can read these notes, you know?